All right, thank you for staying with us on the program. It's the Business Rendezvous, reaching you live from the nation's commercial capital, Lagos, Nigeria. And I'm still your anchor on the show, Lawrence Osifo. I told you earlier at the beginning that I have a guest who will be joining me in the studio this morning here in Lagos. Let's make sense out of the Tinubu's economy in the past, let's just say 2 years now. By May 29th, it's going to be 2 years on the dot. Economically, how Nigerians have felt from the removal of subsidy to different tariffs that has been imposed on Nigerians. But my guest might have a different opinion about it. Well, we'll join him now. I'm being joined by Honorable Said Ajadi. Honorable Said Ajadi is a public affairs analyst, and on council call him an economist. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning. To have you. Thanks for having me.
All right. May 29th.
Nigeria.
Okay. Greet Nigerians again.
Yeah, good morning, Nigerians. How are you?
Okay. May 29th, 2023 is a day Nigerians will never forget. Yeah. The whole subsidy is gone saga, which has plunged us to where we are economically, and how Nigerians have been faring. People finding it difficult to eat 3 square meals a day. If you can eat one, you just give thanks to God. Basically, from your perspective, do you think since May 2019 date, this administration economic policies have been positively impacting Nigerians?
Well, it depends on the way you see it.
Okay. How do you see it?
As an analyst, I feel that we are rejigging the economy.
Rejigging?
Yes.
And plunging a whole lot of homes into poverty?
You see, when we look at the case study of Singapore, for instance, they've been through this.
But this is Nigeria, not
Malaysia
Singapore.
has been through this.
Okay.
When you want to mark a child, when he's just giving birth to, it hurts. But when it dries off, you see the design. What is happening now is a phase that we need to get through in economics.
Okay.
Yes, there's been a lackadaisical attitude from government of the past. And you know, when you are talking about you taking governance.
When you say government of the past, the administration that handed over to Tinubu is the same political party. Let's not get it wrong here. Because the same thing that same administration told us when it came on board, that they were rejigging the economy and they plunged us into where we are for 8 years before this administration came on board now to continue where that administration stopped.
Let me analyze it to you.
Okay.
The administration of Buhari.
Yeah.
The administration of Jonathan.
Yeah.
The administration of Obasanjo.
Let's not take away Yaradua as well.
Yaradua was just
a year or two.
Exactly. You see, they've done several things in the past that has affected Nigeria, but has been well managed for Nigerians not to know. Nigerians have been very ignorant of governance. It is what they tell us that we believe. But some of us that has dug deeper into what exactly is happening, we have been able to see through it. Let me give you an instance. We decided to go private with all our assets under Obasanjo and Atiku.
By privatizing everything.
We sold everything. It's never done anywhere in the world to sell all your assets. But they felt the government does not have the capacity to run. No, it's not if your head has a headache, you don't cut it off. You don't cut it off. That is what we are going through now. If I want to do business, I have to go into the banks to borrow money. In the stock market that you have analyzed now, that is part of the issue. There was a fake boom and a bust. Managed by who? There were fake theorems that were going around at that time. Some people made crazy money from it. But we are seeing the reality of the situation today in Nigeria. They handed over power to this administration. And they told him there is nothing in the kitty for you.
But obviously there was.
There was no budget for the subsidy in 2023 budget. Buhari did not budget for subsidy.
But how come we were able to sustain it till the day he left office?
Because he did not have the guts to remove the subsidy.
You thought so?
It's not so. It's the analysis of what has happened. So he coming in, maybe he felt bold enough that he can handle.
But this was the same person who fought against it under the administration of the then Goodluck Jonathan in 2012.
He now has information that he does not have before.
If it was done then, the hardship wouldn't have been up to this extent, because then the exchange rate between the Naira and the dollar was around 170, 200.
The dollar depreciated because we are not productive.
And who is to blame?
We are importing because we have been importing for 24 years. You sold all the assets. That's what I'm going to. You sold all our assets at pittance. We built, I'll give you an instance. the aluminum smelting plant.
Yeah.
We built it for $3.2 billion. Atiku sold it for $130 million. Okay, that's number one. We built so many. They had sold all our refineries before, if you remember.
Yes, they did.
It was but insisted we must have it. If he did not do that, we will not be able to repair it now.
But are we really repairing?
It's fixed. Port Harcourt is fixed. Yes.
The same Port Harcourt that was shut down some months ago.
No, Port Harcourt is loading now as I speak with you.
Yes, and evidence to that. You have the evidence.
Yes.
Okay.
This morning, some people came on air, even on the internet, saying that why are you spoiling Nigeria?
So the question is Port Harcourt is loading, the one owned by the government, why is the prices of the product still as high as it is?
Thank you.
That's the question.
It was higher.
It was higher, we know.
Fantastic. But there is now competition. When you have demand and supply in economics, if supply is more than demand, what will happen? Prices will come down. Okay. We were buying 1,000 and 1,100. Now we are buying 850, 820.
It's still not fair, you know.
It will go to 500.
I
will tell you that.
You are saying this authoritatively.
I am telling you because I'm an accountant.
Hold you responsible.
Hold me responsible. I'm an accountant. I'm an economist.
Okay.
This is my turf.
Of course.
Okay?
This is your terrain.
Good. So demand and supply is what I'm dealing with. Facts of Eolawa from 4, not university or masters.
Okay.
There's no way. The thing that will drive it down further is the capacity to buy.
But the crude is not available.
The crude is available, but
there's a but.
But there's a tag to it. Nigeria needs money. The man
at the expense of Nigerians.
Hold on. Oh, that's why I'm saying analyzing for you. Okay. You have not allowed me to spin.
No, go ahead. You're analyzing. I'm listening.
We have to take pain to gain.
Okay. Pain to gain.
Pain to gain. You have married a woman. You made love to that woman. It was very easy.
Yeah.
When you want to give birth, it's painful. The minute she delivers, she's smiling.
This is what the previous administration told us as well.
No, we're seeing things happen. Okay, I gave you the instance of demand and supply on the petrol side.
Yeah.
I have people begging to buy diesel now.
Okay.
Load me, I pay in 2 days. Why? There is a glut.
All right.
Electricity is constant, but it's high. It's expensive because the private sector is the driving power for electricity. I will not invest my money in the business and
that you're not getting profit.
Thank you. So the agreement is that I will produce. As soon as I produce, I have to evacuate. You have to buy. Okay. And the government is saying there is no way we can subsidize this rate anymore. We have to push it to the consumers. But after a while, Geregu, the problem with Mambila
power plant.
They went 2 presidents away. That was an insult to Nigeria. Yeah. For me, it's an insult to Nigeria. Because why would you roll out contracts that you're not capable of doing? Okay? When this come on stream, okay, it will be same thing with the petrol. It will go high and come down. That's the rule. They will beg us after a while to buy petrol in Nigeria. Because if the remaining 2 refineries come on stream this year, Dangote will have a chance, but he has to look for elsewhere to supply. That is what is happening now. He's already sending his product out of the country because it seems like you guys don't value it. Because we refineries are starting to work. So I don't need to come to Lagos to come and load anymore. I can load the whole of Eastern region from Port Harcourt and worry. So there is glut in the market. It's not showing to you now because we are only interested in PMS. Because that is the one that we use the most. Everybody uses PMS. It will not get to a level that the productivity of NNPC will increase for the local demand, for the local supply. And when they get it right to that level, Dangote will beg to supply. And that's what's about to happen now. They're having a price war. They're saying they don't want to sell to him in dollars anymore. So he's saying that whoever is coming to buy from him has to buy in dollars. But there was an order by the president that it should be sold for him in nairas. That's why I'm wondering why the somersault. Because you see, in the past 1 month, crude oil has not been stable. Yeah, because of the Russia-Ukraine issues and all that. So many, the Gaza, the many issues, US and the tariff that was imposed on Mexico, Canada, and China. So there has been fluctuation in the market coming to the kitty. You know, we drafted a budget with $75 per barrel. As of today, it's selling at $66 per barrel in the international market. Now you're talking. So there are issues. There's no sentiment in governance. Okay. Do you understand? Yeah. And the person that we have put as the president is a capitalist.
Do you think he understands?
He does understand.
The truth be
Let me tell you one thing that you have not understood. The problem with this government is that they don't have a proper PR person.
I thank you for the fact that you accepted the fact that there's a problem, with the government.
Communication gap between the government and the governed.
The question is, how can that problem be fixed?
We will fix it.
How?
Thank you.
Not we will. This is 2 years down the line.
Because I'm a believer in Nigeria.
Okay.
Okay.
That was what we said off air some days ago, but let's not say that.
I am a believer in Nigeria.
Okay.
Nigeria is my home. My children are here. My family is
Nigeria is my home.
So I don't
believe
believe in America or Europe or any.
But you travel there.
I travel everywhere. What do I do there?
Okay.
I learn business. I learn business to bring to Nigeria.
Okay.
If you don't know, I'll tell you today because we're on air.
Yeah.
I brought diagnosing tools to Nigeria. I was the first person.
Medical diagnosing?
No, car diagnosing tools.
Car diagnosing.
I trained matter in the whole of Nigeria. But Tom, the former governor of Benue State, was the Minister of Industry at that time.
Yeah.
Confirm what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay? So I bring things to Nigeria that is useful for us. Rather than you buy a Mercedes Benz now, your mechanic cannot fix it. It is trial and error.
Okay.
So now, what we do now is you insert a machine. It tells you where he has a headache. It tells you where the engine is having an issue. Okay. It tells you why the electronic system is not working before you start to make any change. Okay. Okay? So that means that you know what you are doing. You have put square pegs in square holes.
But that seems not to be happening under this administration.
It took me 5 years for the white man to accept to bring this to Nigeria. I did not stop.
Why?
Yes, because they said they didn't want Nigerians to have it. When we brought this Autobus to Nigeria, Bosch of Germany bought Autobus, the company, and shut it down. How about that? Because they were not selling the equipment anymore. Their multiplexers were just in their stores. Because we were doing I was giving backup to mechanics, and mechanics now had systems to work with. They will, if made to put on your system, you are seeing the whole car. And
you are diagnosing
believe
what
me, and you are seeing all the faults on it.
You know where the fault
exactly
is.
And you can tell what to fix, and it will tell you we have workshop and equipment backend as well that is telling you where to get the equipment to fix those cars, including injector cleaners. You don't have to touch anything. You just put it on the machine, it fixes it, and you put it back.
You are good.
That's it. So I am a believer in Nigeria. Whatever is best in the world, I go and research on it. I must bring it to Nigeria.
A lot of us are also believers in Nigeria.
Where am I going with what I'm saying to you? What is happening now can be fixed easily.
How? That is what we're saying.
That's what I'm going to with patriotism. Stop abusing government. Support government. If they are wrong in anything they're doing.
Criticism is now abusing government?
No. When you
we should draw a line between criticism and insult.
When you want to criticize, criticize them.
Just like the young copper girl that came out. That's criticism, not an insult. No, we're not going there. I was just
the
citing.
reality of the copper girl is that she has a right to complain.
Exactly.
Fantastic. But there is decorum and mannerism in how we come from. I'm a Yoruba man.
Yeah.
There's something called respect. Eko. They don't have it anymore. The problem also has gone to education. You are fanning Bill Gates' pocket with your attitude to education. Bill Gates is making billions of dollars because you want to be like the white man. You forgot how you started. Everything we do here is doctored towards the lifestyle of the West. We have to have our own identity. We have to have the way we do things.
But we do.
No, we don't. If, for me, I will tell you that we have to stop electronic education.
The world is we're saying we want to compete with other part of the world.
They have seen that themselves. Sweden has stopped.
Okay.
Britain is about to stop.
Okay.
But we don't even know what's going on. The children are no more as intelligent as they are before because all they do is listen via gadgets.
Not all, anyway.
We have to put it in statistics.
Okay.
I'm also a statistician because you cannot pass
managerial psychology without doing statistics. Exactly.
Okay? And you cannot pass managerial psychology without having to do leadership.
Okay.
That's a core course that you must pass. And followership. Right. So followership is lacking by not doing. If I see today that government is lacking in something and I can make a way where I can show them how to do it, I will show them. That's the same way I told you that I bought tin tools to make them understand that you don't break the car by fixing it. You spoil one to fix. No. And that's what they do here in Lagos. The minute they pick your car, they will destroy it.
They add more problem to the problem that wasn't there
because they don't know how.
Okay.
So you need to know how before you can fix a problem.
Honorable.
Things I will tell you.
Okay.
This government has opened up an economy nobody's talking about.
What is the economy?
The blue economy.
Whatever you're not seeing,
hold on,
it's not working.
There's
a saying that whatever is not written does not exist.
Okay, go ahead. If you don't have something, you can't give it. You can only give what you have.
So what's happening around the blue economy?
Thank you. The blue economy was part of the plan for this Nigeria.
Okay.
It's starting to kickstart. Let me analyze the blue economy in a minute.
All right.
What it means is that the waterways, the Atlantic, Niger, Benue, and all the rivers, and what you can get out of those sectors which we never thought about. Obasanjo said that Calabar-Lagos Road is a waste of resources. For me, it's not.
But to Nigerians, it is.
Hold on.
The coastal rail, it is.
Why
not channel the money to other parts of the economy?
For you.
Okay,
Why didn't Obasanjo channel the excess crude that we had? Instead of paying 20 billion to the Brentwood companies, why didn't he invest it in Nigeria?
The economy was better then.
The economy was managed. If it was better.
We had better hands. The likes of Okonjo-Iweala.
Let me tell you now, those are agents of the West, of the Brentwood companies. Where did she come from? She came
is an agent,
bank.
But today she's heading the WTO.
You don't understand how
I understand what you're saying.
It's a gimmick.
Okay.
When Obasanjo went to the White House, they introduced him to Okonjo-Iweala in the White House. This woman has been doing very well for us here. Let her come and work for you as a finance minister. You brought her in. We have paid our principal all that money. It was not for Nigeria. Our funds that you kept in America, we can't ask for it. Can you go now to JP Morgan? You can't go to JP Morgan and all the people managing the dollar and tell them you want something at this rate. You have to borrow. They are borrowing us back what we have deposited.
Must we borrow?
Thank you.
That is the question.
They that claimed that they have paid back or they have rescheduled our debt. Look at the portfolio of who is owing most. Governments that have owed most. It is Obasanjo and Buhari. I have that fact.
Buhari is still under the same APC.
No, I'm not being. Forget partisanship.
Exactly. I'm talking
about Nigeria.
Okay, Nigeria.
They've governed.
Okay.
Irrespective of their party.
Yeah.
Okay. I was a PDP member. I resigned because of Obasanjo and Atiku because I realized they don't know what they're doing.
So do you now think this administration and his team, they know what they are doing?
Moving towards a direction which is positive. Why?
And Nigerians are suffering to this extent?
I just told you that things were already totally bad. There was no money. You changed the Naira. Why did you change Naira? You changed the Naira based on sentiments. You did not change the Naira notes based on financial indices or economic indices. You created some billionaires because you changed the Naira. We invested 53 billion naira to produce 2 billion.
The CBN has an act that says every 10 or 15 or 20 years thereabout, you change the Naira.
If you change if you give us a notice that you want to change in 6 months.
It was. But though it was shorter.
It was too short. You cannot plan. And when you cannot plan, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
So they say.
So that's the reality. It's the reality of Nigeria. We didn't have anything to go on ourselves for a long time. This government came in and started afresh, starting to build. The tax reform.
Starting to build afresh?
Okay, you said that the refineries were not going to work. The 2 refineries are working now. Obasanjo went to Shell.
Up to wait
now. Something that's been moribund for 20 years or more.
30 years.
30. It's just like you park your car in your garage. And you get there, even if it's brand new, after 2 or 3 years.
2 years is too much.
The battery will not work.
Definitely. If you are not starting it on a daily basis.
Some valves we have issues because
rats must have eaten some wires.
Things. And for instance, BMW, all the German cars.
Yeah.
If you don't drive those cars for a while, the silencer, the converter, all those things will have issues.
Okay.
You have to either you repair them or you change them. Now they have repaired NNPC that Obasanjo said was impossible.
Do you think NNPC has been repaired when you still have somebody like Mele Kyari there?
Kyari is doing job now. If he's not doing any job, Port Harcourt refinery will not work based on pessimism. Warri refinery will not work based on pessimism. Look, you have killed Nigeria with your mouth, saying that something will not work. It's starting to work, even if it's not 100%.
Okay.
People are loading. So if it's working at 50% capacity now, I give kudos to them.
50% is still not it.
No.
For instance,
I'm analyzing for you.
I'm getting your analysis.
So from 0 to 50 is a lot of. It's in economics. It's a lot.
Though it's a pass mark.
It will get to 100 after a while, because now we don't even know if it has gotten to 85.
How long will it take us?
We don't know now. We cannot checkmate it. We don't know what is happening right now. But from what I saw this morning, they are loading in Port Harcourt refinery, and that's why we have a glut in in Lagos.
Okay.
All tanks are full. Nobody's buying. You know why? Because purchasing power has been reduced because of the cost of PMS.
So as an economist in your own way,
so it will go down gradually.
That was the question I was about asking. It will it will go down gradually to get into 400
they
or 500?
They will fight each other.
You think so?
Price move. There's going to be a price war. This has not even started.
Since the deregulation of the downstream sector, the oil sector, the price is regulated by how much the price is in the international market in terms of the crude. That's what
I'm trying to make
you
understand.
So if it goes up in the international market, that's what I'm saying now.
But the good part for Nigeria, if we know what we are doing,
okay,
we have crude oil.
Okay.
But do we love each other? Go to Libya. A 60-liter car is filled with $2. A gallon is 15 cents.
It's filled with $2.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you cannot use 50,000 naira to fill 60 liter in Nigeria.
Why? Because everything was not available before. You are not producing. You heard what I first said.
Yeah. You talked about productivity and production.
Was not existing.
All right.
Okay. Now we have fixed the pipeline. Some people are now busting it again because they're angry.
Well, that will be a topic for another day. That will be another issue.
You have to be patriotic before you have a stable economy and before you can plan.
The entire.
So now that they have opened up to say that we can invest in the blue economy, what does that mean? I am hiding some things that you don't see.
Okay. You guys are closer there. We are journalists. Our job is to analyze.
That's what I'm telling you.
So you are up there.
That's why I'm a businessman. So I'm looking for ways to make money.
Okay.
So now it means that if the Calabar Lagos road is fixed, I can invest in the blue economy and have on the shores of Nigeria.
Do you see that project to be completed under this administration?
First phase is almost completed before the second year of May. Umahi was here last week. We saw how far they have gone.
Yeah, I saw the whole.
Let us give them. You see, the problem with Nigeria is that we do not appreciate good things.
We do.
We have been pessimistic for too long.
We do. We are only.
Let me finish.
Some Nigerians are only. Okay, go to where you're going.
We are not in love with Nigeria. I am in love with Nigeria.
Everybody is in love with Nigeria.
No,
if I'm not in love with Nigeria, I won't be sitting here.
Because
you
can't say that. 200 million people.
No.
Okay.
If we're not in love with Nigeria, we wouldn't be in Nigeria.
That's why I'm here.
The people that are not in love has jackpad.
Most are still thinking of jackpotting.
Someone like you say you travel out. People like us, we don't travel like the way you travel.
I can never go and wash a white man's pants.
No, we can't use that word on air right now. So you can't go and do some menial job over there.
Can't do
that is you.
I believe
but there are some Nigerians
in hard work because of me going to school. I don't need to be told how to live my life.
You bring the currency here, you exchange it goes to millions.
Dollars here. If we tap into, that's what I wanted to tell you.
How come we're now making the dollar one of our currency when dollar is not an official currency in Nigeria?
The reason why we have done that is part of lack of patriotism.
Not the people now, we're talking about the government.
The government will do that because the only way we are generating money is crude oil.
Why should
and it's dominated? Hold on, it's dominated in dollars. The reason why Russia is being fought now is because Russia said they should not dominate international crude business in dollars. So if the minute Nigeria says that, America will fight you completely.
Okay.
So we have to be diplomatic and be very careful.
Honorable, we're pressed for time. Let's talk around the tax reform.
Fantastic.
Let's talk around the tariffs in different sectors. Let's wrap up with that.
It has never happened in Nigeria.
Okay.
Where a reform will say poor people should not pay tax.
But before now, poor people, were they even paying tax? No, where that's the question. In fact, the rich people, do they even pay tax in Nigeria?
When you get to my office,
because if the rich people pay tax, I can't see the reason why a convoy of 20 vehicles will be following one person. When you get to my office on the island, you will see local government officials come to you and tell you to pay tax for television. In Lagos, here? I have receipts. Local government workers, they will come and collect tax from you. But you know local government, you are paying government taxes. But local governments were empowered so there are several taxes, multiple taxes. Would you call it taxes or rates? Because we know what local government collects is called rates, basically, not like the federal. It any name you want to call it. It's a tax. Okay. It's not my wish to pay local government for television. How can I be paying radio and all that? Sometimes they don't find television in my office, but you have to pay. But you have television in your office. They will tell you they are going to lock you up or lock your office up if you are not paid, and you have paid federal government. Honorable. And you have paid state. Honorable. The tax reform, people had made noise before they read what was going on. So the assembly called experts to come and explain. Now there's some assault. Everybody is now saying it is good. Because the details is showing that the people that have been exempted are the Nigerians that are suffering. So you want to remove them out of poverty to bring them into wealth. All right. Don't pay any money until you are at a gap. There's so much before you start to pay. There's so much taxes here and there. Do you think they are necessary? Telecom tax, which other one? The CBN just raised one, off network ATM. Subsidy, no, subsidy is not, we are used to that already. We're talking about electricity subsidy. That's what I'm saying to you. I said that earlier. Export shipping cost, the port guys, they raised theirs. No, everybody seemed to be, now multi-choice, the private owner just came out recently, they also increased theirs. Multi-choice should be, because they know that the government is increasing. Let me be honest with you, there is a monopoly that must be breaking in that sector. What's the monopoly and how can it be breaking? Thank you very much. Nigeria should look into the media. Okay. Television, social media, and all of that. Yeah. You cannot put 200 million people's hands in the hands of multi-choice. I have been against it for so long. But the government gave them the license. Hold on, then. So I'm telling you on air now, if they can look into multi-choice. If I want to watch a local channel, I don't have to go on DSTV or GoTV. It doesn't make any sense. Exactly. That's what we're talking about. That's why I'm telling you that we are fighting, but our voice is not yet heard. We know what to do, so we know how to help government. How do we help government? This is what I'm saying on air now. I'm helping government because they have to checkmate all the private sector people. Okay. You cannot come saying you are telcos. And you are I use Glow. Glow is telling me every morning I can call on you on my line now. First call of the day, I'll pay 15 naira. For what? I'm renting after paying you for the ticket. After paying you for the phone call, you tell me that you are charging me another 15 naira for every first call of the day. Okay. That is you are ripping us off. Honorable. So telcos have been ripping Nigerians off. And that was why that girl was lamenting. Do you have to lament everybody? But I told her, that's why I said earlier, if you are paying 3,000 naira a day, what are you doing on air? It depends on what you are doing on air. Okay. I pay 2,000 in a month. People can't transport to work. And I do international WhatsApp calls and all of that. I do business on air. So I don't understand what she's doing with us. So the reality is that, yes, things are very high. But there's a way to bring it down. Please say that again. Things are very high. Say it for the third time, please. Things are very high. Nigerians need to hear the truth. Okay. Things are very high. Okay. But we can bring it down. All right. By supporting government with things they need to do. Conclusively, what's your advice? Man, I've just told you one. I've told you two. I've told you three. Okay. For me, they have opened up a vista nobody's talking about. All right. There's business to be made. There's money to be made in Nigeria now. Okay. All you need to do is strategize. Money to be made. You don't need to know any politician to make that money. When you because we need to also look at that. I just told you about a blue economy. Okay. Let me give you an instance of it. You don't need to know a minister. I don't want to know you now. All I need to do is in Nigeria. Yes. That's what I'm telling. Am I a part of the government? I'm not. But I'm thinking of doing that business. You know what? Okay. What you can do now is that there are strategic things that you must do. All right. Crayfish. The best prawns and the best shrimps they're in Nigeria. Absolutely. Obasanjo just gave out Bayelsa. What's it called now? Is it the Nembe Creek?
No, that place that we ceded to.
Okay, Cameroon. The Cameroon Peninsula.
That is the best area for prawns.
Yeah, Bakassi, sorry. Bakassi Peninsula to Cameroon.
That place, anywhere in the world, they ask for the tiger prawns from Bakassi.
From Bakassi, that's now given to Cameroon.
As I speak with you, I have 3 contracts I cannot meet.
Over there.
For prawns and shrimps. So if the blue economy starts, and there is road that I can evacuate,
that can lead you to Bakassi.
That I can evacuate my goods from the sea, because what we are going to do now is that we are going to carve some places on the IC and reduce the current.
Okay.
And we start to produce prawns.
Okay, comrade.
For you and I, I can make $1 million every month from this opening of the Calabar
blue economy.
I am even begging government. Why don't you build Sokoto to Badagry?
Here in Lagos?
Yes!
From Sokoto
From
State.
Sokoto State to Badagry.
Okay.
And also Maiduguri to Lagos.
But the train station is there.
We have started. I saw it yesterday.
So, but is it working? Is another question.
It's starting. It's a plus. Because what it means is that
we need to go. We need to go.
Press talking about
the time is never always enough.
What I'm trying to do now is what a minister should be doing for the government.
But you don't see the minister because you are putting square peg in round hole and round square.
You are supposed to let Nigerians know what is happening. We fixed Lagos Ibadan Express Road. It has not been commissioned though. It has started spoiling. The first lane is where the trailers will pass. When you press the horn, they will not move. It is illiteracy and ignorance. So why should they be there on the first lane? They should be at the last lane. Okay, so if you have more roads, trailers will not be available. If you have more trains that can move 200 to 500 containers at a time, there will not be need for all those trailers on the road. Okay, so it means that if Calabar Lagos can be fixed, I can buy palm oil
straight from Calabar and bring it to Lagos
for money
without the road.
And you make money.
Honorable, we always monitor
Nigeria can be fixed.
Economy.
Nigeria can be fixed. You need dedicated hands that love Nigeria, patriotic hands.
The government should start it, and the citizens will follow suit.
I'm following.
I'm
a follower.
All right.
I'm not a leader.
Honorable Said,
my role is what I'm playing to.
It's been a great time talking to you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate your time on the show. We'll continue to monitor the whole issue, and I will always have you for us to talk about the economy of Nigeria as time goes on. Thank you very much for joining us. All right, we'll go on a short break. After the break, the show continues shortly. Stay with us and go nowhere.